You just took an MBTI test and you're an INFJ personality type, and that's the result. Okay, what do you do with that? I'm going to tell you right now, people, you might feel a little sad in the beginning. You might be surprised. You might be shocked. But believe me, you'll start to realize that it's the greatest, one of the best moments of your life and one of the best realizations of your life is to find this out. How you doing? I'm Tom, and welcome to my channel. And I want to explain to you why this is Liberation Day for you people. Finding out that you are one of the rarest personality types, and just accepting it and why it's going to be beneficial to you. Yeah, maybe you stumbled across this, maybe you're not sure, but maybe you've been looking at other INFJ videos and you see the classic features of this personality type. Okay, we're introverted, intuitive, feeling, judging type, and what our personality type is exactly, and why it's good to know this. Well, first of all, people, the INFJ personality type, as you know, we've probably had very tough lives. You've grown up as a kid, especially as a young child, having a lot of confusion, having a lot of issues go on. Maybe you were bullied a lot, picked on. Maybe there is trauma in your life because of it. Maybe things happened to you. You just wanted to be at peace. You just wanted to do good things, but you saw a cruel world. You saw people attracted to you that were cruel to you. And you had to adapt. You had to live. You had to survive this. Early on in your life, yeah, you were all about helping people. You thought people were just like you. You thought they had a heart. You thought they were compassionate. But they weren't. They were cruel. Some people were brutal. Some people were very, let's say, abusive. They might have been your own family. They might have been people you thought were your close friends that turned on you. They might have been an ex-girlfriend that finally figured out how sensitive and were exploiting. There's a number of things, but there might have been trauma in your life that molded you into who you are. But you learned to adapt. Over the years, you learned to adapt. You weren't going to let trauma hurt you anymore. You were going to survive. Almost like an oyster when it gets that speck, that small grain of sand in it, that it eventually starts softening and molding and shaping that into a pearl over its life. So that irritation, that trauma of having that in there turned into one of your greatest gifts in that pearl. And that's what the INFJ experience is all about. People, this is what I want to talk about today. Why it is liberating to find out your type. And especially for this type. The INFJ type, I think, is already geared toward understanding themselves. They want to understand. They've been trying to figure themselves out their whole life. They know that they look around their life and they see that they're kind of unique. Nobody thinks like them. They're more sensitive. They're a little bit introverted. They like spending time alone. Yet they want to find people that are of similar interests and similar mindsets, which they cannot find. So all our lives, we go through just being a little bit confused as to why. Why all of a sudden you're at a party and you think you're having fun, and all of a sudden 2 hours in or whatever, you get anxious and you just want to go home. You don't want to be there anymore. Meanwhile, you got everybody else seems to still, the party's just getting started and you're ready to leave. Well, you figured it out. The introversion in you, you're out. You all of a sudden you had enough. You have to get out. So understanding where you are, this is one thing. You got to understand your shelf life, your limit, your battery charge, okay? You're introverted. You know, you can only take this so long before you have to go home, okay? Accept it. Accept that you're not going to stay at the party like everybody else. You got your certain time. You know when it's time to leave now. And all of a sudden, it's not going to be a problem anymore for you to have to duck out a little bit early. Just things like that. These are just some of the small examples as to why it is liberating for you to find this out. And finding it out early as it is one of your greatest days that you're going to find, is understanding this. People, I've been this type for my whole life. I just found this out, I'm going to say about 3 years ago, roughly. I was 57 years old, and I just happened to stumble across an algorithm. I did describe that in another video, and I started immersing myself into the videos, and I finally realized that, my gosh, as much as I didn't want to believe it or accept it, there had to be okay, I act just like this, but I can't be. Well, I walk like the duck, I quack like the duck, but I'm not quite the duck. And you're going to keep telling yourself you're not that. Eventually, it's got to click in. Gosh, I have to be. This is what it is. This is what it is. But being that we are a personality that has been traumatized our whole life, most of our life, we have had adversities that most people probably would not handle the way we did. Or maybe people that did, they handled them in a different way. We've looked inward. We look deep inside our psyche. We isolate. And we go into our self-isolation phases. And that's something that we do many times through our lives, is when we get troubled, when we get depressed, when we get jilted, or maybe we're betrayed or traumatized, whatever it might be, we isolate. And that's our defense mechanism. We go into a shell, build a wall, whatever you want to call it. Not literal, but figuratively we do. Of course, you might withdraw and start being a little more isolated from people. Maybe you're a little more introverted for weeks, months, whatever it might take in order for you to recenter yourself before you can venture out and start trusting again, or at least attempting to trust again. That's what I mean. So you're going to find out that this is the way you're geared, the way you are geared, the way you are manufactured, the way you were created. And that's going to be a liberating thing to know that that's just the way you've been. Okay? So this is Liberation Day for that reason too. So always know that, you have that type. You are a confusing type, and you've always had something in the back of your head, and you're not alone. Okay, people, you're not alone. I'm out there, and there are lots of others. Everybody that is drawn to this, that have maybe stumbled across this, is seeing this, maybe hopefully the first time, maybe you don't know, but you're going to find out that this is part of who you are. You are unique. Your mind is not ill. You might have even questioned your sanity because you don't think like everybody else. You have some kind of crazy thoughts, or you get some kind of like obscure, like maybe abstract thoughts that go in. But all in all, you're a sane person inside. You're sane. You think rational. You think logical. You make sense. But somehow maybe your techniques may seem a little bit abstract in how you're describing them. But it doesn't make you crazy. It just means that you're built differently. You're built a way to see the world in your own unique way. And that doesn't make you crazy. So, you're going to find this out, that this is part of your day. This is what you want to find out, is that, my gosh, okay, now I can start learning about myself. Now, people, whoever's finding this out, maybe you just took a test. Maybe you've just stumbled across this video and you found out you are this rare personality type. All of a sudden, I know how you're going to do this. You will. You'll find out everything about you. We understand psychology. We've probably been students of psychology all our lives, just instinctively, because that's who we are. We try to figure out. We try to look at nature and just the world we're in, and try to compute it to the way our lives are, through science, through nature, through even animals, as far as the animal kingdom and how we relate to certain things. It's all going to start making sense, and how your mind processes things all along. And this is great for you. But all in all, people, this is great. Hopefully, I help you understand all these things. I could go on for a long time. I don't want to ramble on too long. I just want to let you know that finding your MBI type and embracing it, you kind of are what you are. You can't change this. You cannot change it. All you can do is fine tune yourself. But be happy at who you are. You are unique. It's not a curse anymore. Maybe you have a little bit of a weirdness. You have a little bit of an eccentricity. And yeah, we all do. We've been thought to be eccentric, but that's what makes us unique. And that could actually be our greatest strengths, is the fact that we are not just run-of-the-mill. I'm not saying you're going to be more popular. You might still be who you are, but you're going to see clarity now. You're going to see things richer and more vibrant. You're going to express the world because you're going to accept what it is that you are. By accepting your INFJ personality and just understanding that that's what it is, it's going to enhance your experience. That's why I call this the INFJ experience, because we live life, but we, on INFJs, we're also experiencing life. Okay, we experience it, we see it differently, and we're living our life in a different way of visioning the world compared to other types. But you've known that all along. You've all known that, and now it's time to say, okay, now that we see it, now that we've accepted it, okay, we're gonna stay down this avenue and understand and dissect our mind even all the better. That's what I did. That's the way I did it. I saw the life the way it was, and I started understanding, yes, introversion is necessary, and of course, that goes along with the intuitiveness. Understanding you're empathic, understanding that those emotions you felt that when you walked into a room, and somehow you felt uncomfortable as you went in there, and the fact that you wanted to leave, and you thought they were your emotions, okay, and then you were confused for a long time and thought, why did I think that? Why all of a sudden did that come into my mind? You might have thought those were yours. You picked up on somebody's emotions a few times in your life. You go into a room, you knew, and then you were confused. Why did I think that? Why did I say that? Why did I react that way? No, you reacted on what you had picked up. You tuned on somebody's emotions. All of a sudden, now that you know that you're empathic, maybe you're picking up on these emotions. You can know as you walk in that room, when you feel things, you say, that's not me. I'm feeling something. I'm detecting this. That's part of your liberation. Is now you are a better understanding and knowing that you are picking up on this and it isn't you. So now you can deal with it, you can cope with it, you can understand it and rationalize it much better, knowing that it isn't just you. So that's what I mean. These are some of the liberating factors in knowing your MBA type, especially with us, with the INFJ. Just knowing that you are logical and you are also emotional. You are both. You have the way of being very highly intelligent emotionally, but also seeing things black and white, rational. And just knowing that, okay, you see both sides of the spectrum. You see both sides of the argument, and you try to rationalize it and come to your conclusion in the middle by rationalizing both sides. You actually have a very complex way of dealing with your mind. Your mind is very sharp, and crystal clear in a lot of ways, and it will process things immensely different. So your abstract thinking, your mind that never stops, your mind that's always analyzing, constantly analyzing, overanalyzing, overthinking. Yeah, sometimes these things can be burdensome, and sometimes they can be draining to you. They can actually sometimes burn you out sometimes, but knowing your MBI type, feel the burnout. Now that you know, okay, I think I'm going too far. Now that I know my mind, I can know enough to, okay, slow it down. Yeah, I'm burning out. I'm starting to get too overwhelmed here. I got to back it up a little bit. You're not going to sit there questioning why. Everybody else seems to be fine doing this. Everybody else is okay. They can go on forever, but you're already burned out. You got to leave the situation. This is your liberation day. Now you know. These are things that you have to deal with. You have to back up. Know your limits. Okay? Know that you're not going to be able to go to that party 15 hours. You might only be able to go for 2 hours. And you're ready. You're ready to go home and spend some time with yourself and just unwind and recharge your internal battery. This is Liberation Day. This is exactly what it's talking about. And after finding that out, yes, you will be able to understand. You will be able to find out what your triggers are, what your emotions are, what you're feeling. You'll be able to dissect them better, understand them, segregate them, and cope with them much better, and be by understanding yourself. And above all, people, once you find that out and realize that that's what you are, who you are, you'll find a sense of peace. That's the best thing, is you're going to be at peace someday, people. You're going to find out that all these sufferings, all these chaotic things, all this confusion, all these ups and downs, these emotions that you feel, is the way you're perceiving the world. Now you know that you are a rare personality, and that's how you perceive it. And now you can find peace because you're going to be able to just recognize it, understand it, and know when you've had enough of something and know how to rationalize it and know how to deal. Okay, this is how I'm thinking about it. I'm tending to, I would have normally gotten confused at this. Now I'm experienced. Now I'm wiser. I'm sharper now. And I'm getting, you're going to find out that as you get older, as you get wiser, as you start developing, maturing, molding, forging, as your soul becomes tempered, and you can become more resolute in your mind, in your spirit, in your soul, you're going to become a more fine-tuned INFJ mind. You're going to be calmer. You're going to be sharper. You're going to be a lot more fine-tuned, like almost like aged wine, as it tastes better when it actually tastes better as it ferments and gets older. It mellows, like fine cigars even. Well, people, I hope you got a lot out of that. So trust me, you're an INFJ, okay? Part of you says, "Oh my God, what am I?" You're not a freak. You are not a freak. You are not an abomination of nature because you're rare. No, you are something unique. You are a pearl. You are a gem. And it's find time you understand that, and find time you fine tune this gem of who you are, and make sure you take that raw diamond that you just found and make sure you cut that diamond, make it sparkle, because you are rare as a diamond. Well, thank you, folks. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of that video. I do apologize I had to end it as abrupt as I did, but that was the best part of the video right there. Well, if you would, please subscribe to my channel, folks, and give me some thumbs up and leave your comments below to let me know that you like the content that you saw today. And so I can continue to make more of these videos for you. Well, thank you so much again, and thank you for sharing our experience together. Thank you so much.